good news is that my client has mastered almost 15 goals since starting virtual therapy.
Some good news is that with virtual home sessions, I can travel the world with my kids using Google Earth. We've been to Rome, we've been to Pompeii, we've been to Thailand, we've been all over the world.
Okay, my good news for this week is one of my clients had a virtual birthday party with all of his friends and teachers.
My good news is that my client is becoming more excited about all the possibilities that we can have at home. He was getting a little bit worried that he didn't have enough fun activities at his house, but thanks to other therapists who reached out, we were able to connect with his friends, and he's a lot more excited about what he can do while he's at home.
Good news is I get to use my dog Tucker in therapy sessions.
My good news is that my client has finally mastered out waving with no model, and he's learning how to jump independently.
Some good news is with virtual home sessions, I get to share some of my favorite parts of my childhood, like my favorite kids' books and my mom's cool Barbie from the 60s.
My good news is my client has increased his latency responding and mastered out so many targets.
Some good news that I've been able to experience is just seeing how families are coming together and being able to spend more quality time with each other, going for walks, bike rides, playing in the parks, doing chalk obstacle courses for everybody. It's just been awesome to see them collaborate and engage and work together as families and really grow.
My good news is that my client independently rode their bike.
Some good news is that I've been teaching my dog how to play hide and seek, and this weekend he had his very first Easter egg hunt.
My good news is that my client has been able to have a virtual play date with a friend that he misses very much.
Some good news is one of my kids yesterday didn't want the session to end, so we spent an extra minute having a lightsaber battle where he got his lightsaber battle out and I had like a piece of exercise equipment, and we just went back and forth between pretending to like hit each other with it, but he really liked that. So
my good news of the week is I got a puppy.
Some good news that I've experienced during this time is the way people have come together to support one another. You can feel the camaraderie between cities, states, and across the world.
My good news is that my client is excelling in virtual sessions, showing us his independence and rocking his e-learning.
Some good news is my dad and my stepmom sent me lemons from their tree in Arizona.
My good news is that my client practiced turn taking with his sister and rocked it.
Some good news is I've been able to incorporate some hobbies that I love, like my ukulele, into therapy this week.
My good news is my client is mastering out targets that used to take months. He's now mastering out in a few days.
This weekend we made a pie, and it was blueberry apple. It was my first time making a pie, and it came out really well. Here's a picture.
The good news is seeing my client master his goals so quickly and being able to potty train successfully.
Some good news is I've officially been a part of the Eyas family for 6 months. I'm so grateful for the support I've received from my peers, as well as the relationships I've built with my families. This experience has taught me a greater understanding of pediatric therapy and taught me to be flexible.
Some good news is that my cousin had her sweet baby James last weekend.
Some good news is one of my kids that's working on relating their emotions and talking about feelings told me that he missed me and several other of the therapists at the clinic. He starts listing them off and he said, "It's just because I love you guys." And I was like, "I love you too." I was like, so great.
Some good news is that I made a fort with one of my friends during our session this week, and it was so much fun.